So a couple of things about the Anacrusis. First, before I get to other stuff. First, people are asking if it works on the Steam Deck. Yes, it does. We were one of the early people who got ours verified. It works great. It's a lot of fun on the Steam Deck. So besides that, someone was also saying that we restrict mod access. No, we don't. Everybody has access to it. It's just we can't put it up on the Epic Store for anybody to download, because if we compiled the shaders, it'd be like almost 400 gigabytes. It's crazy. I can explain that in a minute. And so what we do is we don't pre-compile those. And because of that, it takes longer the first time you load it. And Epic's like, hey, it's got to load in a minute, even though their own editor doesn't load in a minute. It's a back and forth. We're still sorting it out with them. But for right now, everybody's that we've talked with has preferred that we don't do that so they get the quicker download. And so that's how it works. And all you'd have to do is ask for access, and you get access. We don't restrict it to anybody. We give it to everybody. But it's just on the Epic Store, because Epic Games or Unreal Games, unlike like a source game, you kind of get the mod stuff sits alongside the game. For our game, you get all of the assets. You essentially get the game with the mod tools. And because you have to have all of the core assets so that you can work with it. What I was talking about in my other video was opening it up and just literally giving you access to the raw code, just like our development depot, and opening it up that way and seeing what you can do. Nobody does that. Don't tell me that you're not going to mod us because we don't give access the way other people do. Nobody gives you access like that. That is something we were looking to do, and there's a bunch of problems and restrictions around. That's why people don't do it. But so that's it. But no, everybody has access to our mod tools. Just ask me. I'll send you a key. I'm more than happy to. There's a bunch of active developments still going on with that. And yes, we are on Steam Deck. Steam Deck is really fun. This is one of my favorite things that Valve's ever done. It just feels so good. If you don't have one, I have two. Early dev kit that said it would stop working. It works fine. Shh, don't tell them that. But yeah, so that is where we are. Oh, and one other weird little fun thing is, I was talking about one of the reasons why we price it so low is just to kind of compete with the key resellers who are reselling it off the Humble Bundle we're part of. But the funny thing is, even though we're seeing a bunch more sales on Steam, we're also seeing a bunch more key resales on the reselling things. So it's like both lift up, and that's fine. Again, my interest is more about people buying the game and playing the game. Actually playing the game even more than buying the game. If, again, basic income could work, I would just do that. But yeah, we just want people to be playing the game, and so I don't really mind where you're getting it from. Get it wherever you want. I just prefer you get it from Steam because I don't like the key resellers for a lot of reasons. But yeah, there you go. But it's just funny to see that even with this cheaper price and a way more ton of sales on Steam, that actually that sale increased the sales on the key reselling sites as well. We believe it's an extrapolation of how you've got to look at it a little bit, I guess. But yeah, that is where we are looking into the weekend. So this weekend, what are we playing this weekend? I'm playing some more of the Anacrusis. We're actually talking about playing Intensors, this special mode where the game's more intense. Of some of the mod maps, because I've not played Ascension that way, and Ascension is already a hard, strange, crazy map. This morning we actually played at an earlier time with some people the Ultraviolet versus mode, which was really fun because there's some changes around it that just makes it insane. There's just so much stuff going on, which I felt bad as there's somebody who had never played before. They jumped in. That is not how you should learn the game. It is overwhelming for anybody. And in versus mode in particular, even not in the overwhelming mode, it takes a lot of map knowledge, which is why you can actually play against bots and as a way to learn. And you really want to learn the maps so that you understand the maps, so you understand like where the good places to do the attacks are and kind of ambush them. That's true of any game. I think every multiplayer game I've ever started playing is you have that moment of like, you just know this little part of the map and you don't quite understand it. And here you have to learn this whole long part of the map, right? And so it takes a little bit longer and where your opportunities are and how to use it. But it's still fun. It was fun to see somebody thrown in the deep end. They held their own. They got some kills. They did some good. But it's also interesting is asymmetrical versus, which is what that is. It's different than like if you're playing Call of Duty or Battlefield where you're each equals. And so when you die, you feel bad because, hey, I died. Where in asymmetrical versus like this, as a alien, or in Left 4 Dead as a zombie, you're going to die a lot more often. You die frequently, and it's okay. You have to be comfortable with that. And one of the things we actually showed were all the options. Were all the options in our verses that we kind of offer up as a way to have a different experience. There, I was actually going to bring it up on the Steam Deck here, but I hit the wrong key. But it just allows a lot more different variation of what you can do kind of for that experience. And a lot of that has to do with, like I said, me doing this long enough, me making these kind of games, and that I have some understanding of kind of what you want to do. So here, actually, I can bring it up here. I don't know if you can see on the screen, but right, matchmaking mode, pretty straightforward. I was probably going to flip it. You're not going to be able to read it. Custom player skins, we had to put that in because even in our little game, you had people making invisible skins. Or if you really want to go crazy, you can play as a survivor with an alien skin, and that's just confusing your teammates. Spawn timer is the interesting one. I'll get back to that in a minute. And then alien special AI. So if you can play a 3v3 game where it's just 3 aliens, and then you're survivors. But you can also have it where a AI will fill in for that 4th alien. And then the spawn timer is kind of the interesting thing, because we play on normal, which is already more compressed than a Left 4 Dead, because we learned you can balance it out. And again, we want the survivors to die as a way to kind of remove the toxicity of having to do the golden perfect run. And so we want to give the aliens some more energy, but we can also do it where they have faster respawns, where you're respawning really quickly. And that's how kind of Ultraviolent works, is it's paired with that, and then it gives you more tools as a survivor to balance it out. And then we have we go all the way to those spawn times where you can just spawn instantly. And the cool thing is you can do no spawn times in you versus the bots as a way to learn all the different aliens, because then you can just practice really quickly. And then you just have to learn the maps as the end of it. So it's a lot of fun that way. And it's like a lot of design and a lot of thought about that, is having now done my 3rd game like this in versus mode and seeing how people actually play it out in the wild, and kind of some of the changes we wanted to make for that. So that is where we are. That is where we are coming in the weekend. So come join us. And if you want to play this weekend, let me know. More than happy. And if you want mod tools, all you gotta do is ping me. Yes, we cannot put it up open and public, but we don't restrict the keys to anybody. We give them to everybody. I just got to send you one, and more than happy to do that.